I painted these hollyhocks today, mostly wet into wet. I started with a gator board background that you see here, and I really wet the paper in the sink. And then I just sat it on top of the gator board, and it stayed there for almost all of the painting without warping, and it stayed wet. So everything you see here is really wet into wet. And for colors here, I'm using permanent rose for the hollyhocks. And I have some variety of greens that I use on my palette. And I use, green gold. I modify any greens with some reds to kind of tone them down. And I'll often use either a rose color. I'll use, let me see here. Rose Madder Genuine. I kind of like to use that to tone down my greens. And then I also here with this cooler color that you see, the green, the darker green there, that's phthalo green. And so I do use, the Rose Madder Genuine and really any reds to tone that color down a little. And I also like the neutral tint. I like to make things a little bit more neutral with toning it down with neutral tint. And as you can see, I just move along and kind of add different details. I spattered some colors there. And then these darks, I used Red Rose Deep and a little Quin Magenta to add the darks for the hollyhock flowers. And it's still damp, so I'm, getting kind of soft edges. And I just move along and kind of look at the entire painting as I'm going. This is not a large painting. It's probably 6" by 9". It is on Arches paper, cold press, 140 cold press. I've used a blow dryer to dry the paper, and then I went in and painted these details. So I'm just kind of darkening these background darks with the phthalo green, along with some neutral tint. And just kind of outlining some of the leaves, going around the leaves. Adding the darks on some of the stems. So you kind of see I have, a cool greens, and then I have the warm greens. And again, the warm greens, the lightest lights of those warm greens there, is the green gold with cad yellow light. And then here I take out a rigger brush to add details. The center of those flowers is Holbein Joan Brilliant. Not sure if that's how you say it, but it's kind of a cream color. And I do like that color. But I did the centers of those hollyhocks with that. And, a rigger brush I like for fine lines and details. So I just kind of see how I added some of the veins on the leaves that you can see there. And just added a few flecks here and there to add interest to the painting. And I'm signing my name. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer.